The housing market is about to go through a major change. Let me go back to August 2024 when a major shift occurred when the National Association of Realtors got hit with a major lawsuit and they had settled for it over $1 billion. And that has to do with how commissions were paid by the seller. Typically, on a $500,000 home, as an example, the sellers paid the 6%. If it was 6%, 3% to the seller's agent and 3% to the buyer's agent. But that changed moving forward August 2024, and that has changed the whole momentum of home selling and home buying, and how much realtors are getting paid has changed, and it's changing even furthermore. Now the buyers have to pay the buyer's agent should the sellers not choose to pay. If the sellers pay the buyer's agent, they have to let the buyers know how much it is, and it has to be in writing. So things have changed drastically, and the way the realtors behave and do their business has been affected drastically. So let's talk further more about that. Since the buyers are obligated to pay the 2% or 3% commission to the buyer's agent, a lot of buyers are not willing to pay that, or they cannot afford to pay a home. On a $500,000 house, the sellers used to pay $30,000 in commission to the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. Now the buyers has to pay on that same house. If it's $500,000 and if the commission is 3%, then the buyers has to pay the buyer's agent $15,000. And a lot of buyers are saying, that's not going to happen. So it's changing the way we are doing business. And the sellers, if they don't know what is going on, can lose thousands and thousands of dollars if they're not aware of what options they have. Many of the buyers now are going directly to private websites like Redfin and Zillow and Homes.com and various other websites to find listings and contacting the sellers directly and trying to avoid the buyer's agent to avoid paying. And this has caused another potential lawsuit that is brewing, or there's a lot of disagreement that is going on. What realtors are opting to do now is, instead of putting their homes on the multiple listing service, they may try to put on websites like Zillow and Redfin and Open Door and various other websites and bypass the sellers directly. By doing so, they can attract buyers directly and reduce the commission they have to pay out and help out the sellers. And what's been happening is now Zillow and Redfin and some other website are saying that, hey, we're not going to allow private listings. And unless those listings by the realtors are first posted on their local multiple listing service, which is called the MLS, and then it goes to the National Multiple Listing Service, which is controlled by the National Association of Realtors, only then that they will post those listings on websites like Redfin and Realtor.com and Zillow. So there's a big argument brewing as we speak. As you can see, there's a battle of the listing sites. Zillow bans pocket listings while Homes.com welcomes them. So let's see what happens in the next few months and next few years. And all of this is not only making the sellers nervous and the buyers nervous, but it's also making the realtors nervous because they don't know how much commission they're going to get, or if they're going to pay any commissions at all. And after all, commissions are everything to the realtor. And that's why they're getting nervous, more and more nervous, as it's becoming challenging not only to sell the homes, but to help the buyers find a home. Let's look at if you were buying a house, if you're selling a home and somebody was buying your house, or if you were buying a house, sold a house and buying another one. Let's say what the mortgage payments do or what they did. In 2020, the median home price was $317,000 approximately, and the rates were 3%. So at that time, your principal and interest was about $2,100. If you come back to today, the median home price is almost $419,000. And if you look at the mortgage, and this is calculated based on 7% with a 30-year fixed mortgage, your payment jumps to $2,800. That's another 30% increase in your mortgage payments. So if I were a buyer, my affordability has really gone down. And moving forward, we don't know if the home buyers can afford to buy new homes, or if you're selling your home and buying another one, yes, you will sell high. You bought your home maybe at 3%, 4%, 5%, and you paid less, but now you're going to sell at a high price. But when you buy, you're going to pay a higher price and potentially a higher interest rate. So let's see what happens moving forward, how things come along. Comment below what's happening in your immediate market. Is the prices going up? Are the prices stabilizing? And if there is home activity or not. So talking about affordability and buyer dilemmas, let's talk about the other costs that have gone up. Of course, your mortgage has gone up because the interest rates went up and the home price has gone up. But along with that, the property taxes has gone up, the insurance cost has gone up. If there is a homeowners association has gone up, and due to the impact of tariffs, everything else has gone up and will be going up further. Groceries, egg prices, cars that you're going to buy, your school fees, your utility fees, your gas fees, your internet fees, everything is going up and is going to go up further more and more. And that cuts into the pocket of, first, you're paying high PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. And now all these costs, your medical bills is going up and will go up. Medical insurance, I'm sure, has gone up. Mine has almost doubled in the last 2 or 3 years. So all this is cutting into the affordability of a typical buyer, and you as a seller may be selling and buying. So that's cutting into your pocket as well. And who is being affected the most with all these things going on? Of course, the realtor, because as the affordability lowers, as home prices go up, and as the shortage of inventory stays low, there are less home sales out there. That means there's less transactions. So the realtors are also feeling the pinch and the pain, and they are seriously nervous. To make matters worse, with all these sky-high increases, your income, or a typical household income, has not increased significantly. Yes, it has increased, but it is not keeping pace with other increases. So that's another challenge on its own. So the question comes to mind, when are home prices going to stop increasing? When are interest rates going to drop? Well, there is no control over that, and there is no prediction over that. One thing is for sure, inventory is low right now. A lot of the sellers who have 3%, 4%, 5% are not selling and buying in the 6, 7, 8% interest. So that's keeping the inventory low. But to make matters worse, home construction has slowed down. The confidentiality. The builders are also nervous, and builders are also hesitant because the rising costs from tariffs on imported materials, there's a labor shortage, and the deportation of construction workers that has already done deportations and more deportations to come. So the labor costs are going to go up. In fact, the labor cost in the construction industry is already rising rapidly, especially in certain areas and certain states. And then the low builder confidence is right now at a 7-month low. If you are investing for wealth, then you may want to buy rental property. Yes, even in this market, and not a primary residence. Or you can buy a primary residence and share the home with somebody else, your friends or family, and share the cost. Your home is a liability, not an asset, until it is sold or produces income. Wealth comes from owning assets, not just from paid off homes. So you may want to consider putting some money out and buy more assets. Two, as you know, the markets are local. What's happening in California, in Orange County, where I'm at, where the market is still very active, there are still multiple offers, and home prices are still going up. Not by much like they used to, but they're still going up. It's different from the market in Florida and Texas, where there is a huge supply of inventory and home prices are actually going down. In fact, in cities like Naples, Florida, home prices have gone down 10 to 15% overall, and they may go further down because the inventory is skyrocketing, not only in Naples, but a lot of cities, especially in Florida and also in Texas. So markets are local. If you would like to find out what's happening in your local market, what the trends are, what's a good time to buy, what's a good time to sell, you may want to talk to a local expert. I have a link below. Let me know, and I can refer you to a top agent so you can talk to them who knows what's happening in your market, and then you can make the right decision whether to buy, sell, or wait. So let's look at the future of real estate coming forth with all these things going on. Buyer's agent may fade out unless their value is clearly justified. More buyers will explore flat fee services or attorneys or going to for sale by owners instead of finding a buyer's agent. The industry is shifting towards more transparency and tech-first platforms. The entire housing ecosystem, the rates, the inventory, the commissions, is being restructured and the realtors are desperately waiting to see where it's going to head moving on. Homeowners today are struggling, and home buyers are also struggling. I did this video a few weeks ago. It talks about I can't afford to sell a house or I can't afford to keep it either. Please watch it. Thanks for watching. Mike Patel.